Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. This is a different environment than what you normally see me at on this channel. Normally I record for my other channel in this environment with this background, and right now you can probably hear the rain outside. It's coming down really heavy on the tin roof and the lighting is really low, and so I've got some lanterns over here that's giving me some light for the room, and normally this is not the way I record, but just is what it is. So I want to do this video because as I was listening to the news today and over the last week, a lot of people are talking about Korea. And again, I don't normally talk on these sort of topics on this channel, but it was a few months ago, well, more than a few months ago. It was back in October. Back in October, when all of the hubbub was going around the internet on how we're going to war with Russia, we're going to war with Russia, war with Russia is imminent. Do you remember that? I did a video back in October saying, people, calm down. It's okay. Don't get worked up, because there were so many talking heads all over YouTube, you know, trying to scare everybody into thinking that we're going to war with Russia and we're going to war with Russia tomorrow. And it's going to happen, and it's going to be nuclear, and you probably won't survive. But if you do survive, here's what you should do. All kinds of videos like that on YouTube. I was like, guys, we're not going to war with Russia, okay? This is a bunch of blustering. It's just nonsense. We're not going to war with Russia. And I had so many people come down on me for that, and tell me that I was living in a dream world, that this was it. I mean, go back and read those comments. I'm going to put that link of the video that I did in October, back in October, and put it in the description below. You can go read the comments that people were leaving on that video. Well, it's now spring 2017. It's April 21st, the day that I'm recording this, and we're still not at war with Russia. Still haven't gone to war with Russia. Now everyone's talking about North Korea. North Korea, we're going to war with North Korea. And North Korea, I mean, they could hit us. They could hit Hawaii. They could hit California. And there's all this talk, and it's nonsense. We're not going. We may go to war with North Korea. Here, we're not going to war with Russia. Okay, it's not gonna. We're not gonna update the status quo. Putin doesn't want that. Trump doesn't want that. There's too much money to be made. Too many countries are making too much money. China's made. Nobody wants that. So we're not. It's not going to happen. North Korea. Trump gets in office. He's less than 100 days old as a president, and he's looking at. I mean, he's a business guy. He's looking at the financials. He's like, dude, what's this for? What are we spending money on that? Why are we spending money on this, that, and the other? He's looking at all the financials, and he sees this, $1.8 billion bill every year that we spend on Korea. North Korea, by having people in South Korea. I think the last estimated was 28,000 U.S. troops in South Korea. Now, folks, that is not counting Guam. That is not counting Okinawa. That is not counting Japan. That is not counting the Pacific Fleet in general. Bases in the Philippines. That's not counting any of that. Okay, we have a lot more troops out in those places too, and there's a lot of money that goes into those places: Guam, Okinawa, Japan, the Philippines, and most of those assets are there because of Korea. Okay, that's not counted, in the $1.8 billion, whatever it takes to uphold or keep South Korea going, and funded for the troops that we have there to monitor North Korea. If Trump is going, he's looking at this, he's like, dude, we're $20 billion in debt. He's a simple businessman. He's going, we got to get rid of this because this is just a money pit. And it's been there since the 1950s. We got to get out of this. So, Xi Jinping from China, the president of China, comes over to the United States. And he's like, listen, I don't want you guys to put THAAD on the Korean Peninsula. If you don't know what that is, it's the THAAD. It's some kind of, it's Terminal High Altitude Area Defense. It's a missile system. A missile system that when the missile is launched, it busts out the missiles that it encounters with kinetic energy, basically just ramrods them, in the air, runs into them. There's no explosion. It just runs into them and knocks them out of the air, basically. And China doesn't want that on the peninsula because it's too close to China. Because if something happens with North Korea, you have U.S. troops on the Chinese border now, and China does not want that. Also, a lot of people don't know that Russia is on the border of North Korea as well, and they don't want that. So Trump does what, any normal businessman would do, is like, listen, you don't want that on the Korean Peninsula. It's set to go into motion and actually into deployment on June of 2017. You don't want to hear. And be frankly, I don't want to hear. Trump's like, I don't want to hear because it's going to cost money to maintain. I'm just adding to the money pit that is South Korea. I don't want it there. Here's the deal. You get rid of this nut job, in North Korea, and then, Kim Jong-un, you get rid of him, and then we can go home. And you don't have to worry about U.S. troops on our border. I don't have to worry about spending $1.8 billion into this money pit called South Korea. And then a lot of the assets that I have in the area can also come home. And I can either sell off or whatever. He's looking at it from a business point of view. We're not, and China can make it happen. China can make it happen. They've already, that's why everyone was wondering, why did China vote, to abstain from that vote to condemn Syria? It's because Trump's making deals. He's trying to stop the spending. He's trying to stop the bleeding from happening in the U.S. budget. It's that simple. It's all about the money, folks. He's got to stop the spending because we're spending way too much money in South Korea. He's like, listen, you get rid of this nut job, if we can do it together, I don't care, but we're going to get rid of this guy because it's too much money we're spending on the Korean Peninsula. A bunch of you guys thought we were going to go to war with Russia, and you left nasty comments on my video back in October. And it's spring 2017, it's almost May, and we still haven't gone to war with Russia. This is what's going on with Korea. You didn't believe me then. Do you believe me now? We're not going to war with Korea. Here's the deal. Korea doesn't have the ability to hit the U.S. coastline. But Zach, they got submarines. Listen, their technology in subs is back in the Flintstone age. It's like, having one of their subs moving around in the water is like having a marching brass band walk down Main Street. Every piece of equipment, U.S. equipment in the water can hear it. Okay, they have no tech. There's no way a North Korean nuclear sub is going to sneak up off the coast of California or Hawaii for that matter. It's not going to happen. The only people who are going to take a pounding if Kim Jong-un decides to go batty are the people, our troops, our 28,000 troops on the border there. Those guys. I was former infantry. I had friends who were stationed on the DMZ in Korea before they came to their duty station where I was at in Germany, and they told me, hey man, if it ever goes to war there, the first line defense of U.S. troops is going to get pummeled, and hard. In fact, they all knew they weren't going to make it. That was it, because they knew how much troops that the North had and how much artillery the North had ready to launch at a moment's notice to just completely pummel the forces in the South. But that's all North Korea can do. It can never hit U.S. mainland. It can never hit Hawaii. It may get lucky and throw a golden BB over at Japan, but it's not going to, chances are that's not going to happen either. And there's already the THAAD system deployed in Guam that can shoot down those missiles. So seriously doubt that's going to happen. And Japan has their own anti-missile defense shield too. Not going to happen. We're going to get rid of Kim Jong-un, and it's a business deal. It's simple as that. It's $1.8 billion of bleeding on a financial sheet that Trump is like, we got to get rid of it. It's got to go. And when you think about all the savings of all the other money, of all the assets in Okinawa, Guam, Japan, the Philippines, all of that's there for Korea. If Korea ever happened again, that's why all those assets are there. All those assets can be sold or brought home. He's trying to trim the budget. And China is absolutely willing to cooperate to get us off their back porch. Absolutely. Hey, listen, man, if it means U.S. troops going home, who do I need to kill? Oh, it's Kim Jong-un? We'll take care of it. Trust me. We didn't go to war with Russia. This is what's going on with Korea. I'm just throwing it out there. Let's see the nasty comments I get this time. Again, I don't do these kind of videos very often. It's a rainy day. I'm stuck inside. The lighting is really low. I have some lanterns going on over here. The rain is coming down, which is good. April showers bring May flowers, so the garden is growing. But I'm just kind of stuck in here and pontificating on my own and, reading the news. And I figured I'd just turn the camera on and give you a rundown on my thoughts. All right, guys. See you next time on the Homestead. Oh, wait a minute. If you like this video, go ahead and check out this list of amazing folks. These are our patrons. They make all of our videos possible. We couldn't do what we do on YouTube without them. They're the executive producers of our show. Find out more information over at patreon.com/An-American-Homestead. Other than that, like, subscribe. See that subscribe button right there? Click it. All right. See you next time on the Homestead.